Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're in an absolute state of shock because we found out that Optimus Prime, dear beloved leader of the Autobots and childhood hero, used to once be a lowly dock worker named Orion Pax. But we are professionals, we are going to work through the pain, and we are going to watch the Viper playing as the Teutons in green take on Hera playing as the Dravidians in red. Now, all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings with Goat, with Scout, and with anything under their control, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible. Let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Teutons, much like the Byzantines, are a civilization designed to take a beating and still stay standing. All barracks and stable units get free extra melee armor starting in Castle Age and Imperial. Their siege units can be upgraded to get a big +4 melee armor boost. Their towers have extra space for more units to garrison inside and fire extra arrows. And by the way, the same applies to their town centers. Take a look at the bottom left of your screen. 0 out of 25 space for garrisoning compared to the usual 0 out of 15. I shouldn't say the usual, I should say standard or generic. Now, Teutons also get murder holes and herbal medicine for free, so their units can heal super fast while in castles protected against melee units. And those same strong Teutonic castles can actually be upgraded to have extra range and actually fire extra arrows when garrisoned by infantry. Now, before you think that's not that relevant, that is a pretty big deal, since in this game, in Age of Empires, only villagers and archer units garrisoned inside a castle will add extra arrows. Not so for the Teutons who research crenellations. Now, on the field of battle, all Teutonic units have a higher resistance to conversion, and if they're hurt, can be healed by monks from twice the distance, which is great news for the unique unit of the Teutons, the Teutonic Knight. This is a super slow but incredibly powerful, heavily armored infantry unit. Now, to support a big, hungry population, Teutonic farms are 40% cheaper than normal. Opposing the Teutons, we've got Hera playing as the Dravidians, a civilization we saw MBL use quite interestingly and well a few days ago. Or maybe a little more than that. When you have a child, a newborn, all the days kind of just melt together. In any event, the Dravidians, as we saw previously, and in general, a civ that focuses on their infantry. To start with, all barracks technologies are half price. All infantry units can be upgraded to ignore enemy armor, essentially turning Dravidian infantry into Lithuanian Lechai. And that, by the way, is amazing because their unique unit is the Urumi Swordsman. This is a medium infantry unit that gets a massive attack boost every 24 or 20 seconds, depending on whether it's the standard or the elite version. Similar, think the Burgundian Coustelier or Coustelier, but unlike that unit, the Urumi charge attack also does trample damage. Now, to support its infantry on the field of battle, all Dravidian siege units are cheaper in terms of wood. Their cavalry also benefit from the upgrade I just mentioned, where their attack ignores armor. But before you get too excited about that, the Dravidians, I believe, have the worst, or have been voted to have the worst cavalry line in the game. Their skirmishers and elephant archers do fire 25% faster, and all of their elephant units can be upgraded to regenerate health, very similar to the Viking berserkers. Now, to help support their military, Dravidian fishermen do carry extra amounts of food, so if Hera decides to get a little bit of his box turtle fishing game going, these Dravidian fishermen could do can carry 15 more seafood units, whatever you want to call it, seafood steaks. And every time you go up in age, the Dravidians get 200 wood for free. So we'll keep an eye on their wood pile once Hera clicks up to Imperial. Oh my god, Imperial, once he clicks up to Feudal, although 250 food away. Now, 200 food in the later stages of the game may not sound relevant, but in the early stages of the game, man, oh man, does that help you out, especially when villager allocation, resource management, downtime become very important. It looks like Hera, our Dravidian, first to click up to Feudal. Let's take a look at the bases while they explore each other. Hera has seen where the Viper is. The Viper has seen where Hera is. So both players now have caught each other's scents in the wind, and we'll see what they do with that information. But let's take a look. Hera, primary gold nice and secure in the back. Primary stone nice and secure in the back. Two interestingly placed forests, not the biggest forests, but enough to make a decent medium-sized wall off. I don't mind this base for Hera at all, even though the northwest looks a little bit more open than usual. And oh my goodness, take a look at the Viper. Primary gold in the front. Primary stone, okay, fine, secure in the back. But look at his base, north, east, south, all completely open. So we don't usually see this very often, but base advantage in a big way here to our Dravidian in terms of being able to wall off his base much easier than the Viper. My goodness. By the way, let's keep an eye out on the top right of our screen. Take a look. 124 wood in 3 seconds should become 354 wood. That is super fun. For those of you who are experts at this game, who know all this stuff, apologies. I just love to see all these bonuses in action. If you've watched ever my casts of the Turks, you know one of my favorite things to do is to watch their scouts become light cav and their light cav become hussars in any event. Big advantage, I would say, here to Hera in terms of base situation. And let's see how far his forests are. They're not that far away either. Lemon bushes, my favorite with the pretty blue butterflies, are nice and secure in the center position as well. And the Viper comes under attack. Where are his forests? Oh my god, his forests are... oh man. One very far south. How did this happen? Generally in these map spawns, things are a little bit more even. I don't think we've seen a spawn this uneven. At least I haven't. Not on this channel since I started casting. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever seen something this unfair? This is very unfortunate for the Viper. Look how exposed his gold is. I mean, take the cactus, and all of a sudden your gold is completely under enemy domination. Enemy occupation, but 23 villagers to 23. The Viper is undeterred. Even though this isn't walled off at all. Very strange for the Viper. Okay, does wall it off now, as he does the north part of that lemon patch. And now he's creating, it looks like a bit of a funnel. So way too expensive, way too timely, way too much villager downtime to try to wall off this entire part of the map. And look at the Viper positioning his scouts wisely between Hera's and his base, basically sandwiching Hera's units inside here, limiting their effectiveness. And with only one spearman, I mean, I said that, but it looks like he's just kind of going out here. Will he catch wind of these archers? No, he does not. Oh, literally moved out a second too late. Or maybe a second too early, rather. And now Hera continuing to circle. Hera must love this. Hera probably one of the best early game scouters, in my opinion, in the game at the moment. Not to detract from other players, not to detract from the Viper, but take a look at this big empty space here that the Viper has in his vision, whereas Hera, the only empty space is the town center, and you know the town center is there anyway. Let's see, we've got archers here for our Dravidian. Who will get the first kill here? Will this scout die? Will this scout die? So far, it looks like Hera gets the first kill. The Viper being annoying here with 5 scouts. Remember the Teutons, one of the fun things about them, or funny things about them, I should say, this is the best they get when it comes to light cavalry. The Teutons don't even get light cav. They are forever stuck on scout cavalry. Forever. But remember, starting in Castle and in Imperial, these guys will get +1, +2 melee armor, which makes them pretty fun. Pretty tanky. Hera making himself, making his presence known here. 4 kills to 2. This villager should die as well, right? Oh, too slow to deke the arrows of the archers. 5 kills to 3. Now, where are you going, militiaman? You are engaging in underneath a town center with skirmishers, villagers, and carpets. Although at the moment, the Viper not really paying attention to this guy. Okay, finally does. I mean, obviously not paying attention. What the hell's a militia with 5 HP gonna do? At the end of the day, 2 kills for these archers, and now the Viper, how many? Lost 1 of his scouts. 0 kills on these guys. It must have been the one scout that had all the kills who died. And now the Viper is the one getting good vision of his opponent's base. And look at this, Hera. Very interesting. Instead of walling it off, also creating a funnel with a series of houses here. But one thing you always have to be careful of when you're playing against the Teuton is these cheaper farms. 40% off farms is not a small discount, which allows the Teutons to just boom their food significantly, which is why the Viper's got 21 villagers on food. Hera only 16, and now Hera's front wood line is under attack. Oh, man. More scouts dying here for our Teuton. That's a lot of food going down the shitter for him. And just being annoying, not killing these villagers, but getting them off the productive function. Idling them, in a sense, is just as good at the moment. 7 archers, fresh, moving forward to join their 2 compatriots who have 2 kills, but 1 skirmisher, enough to shoo away 2 archers, especially when their HP is at 50%. Vulture sees everything. I don't know why I'm whispering. I am very scared here. The Viper's gold is just so friggin' exposed. Will he drop a tower to defend this? Or will he go for the backwards gold? What is the right play here for the Viper? Yeah, this is this walled off? This doesn't look walled off, right? Okay, he realizes it builds a house. But this market, nice and thick, 4 tiles, should keep these archers at bay. Although, never mind, they've got a +1 now. These guys come with fletching. They came to play. 3 skirmishers are going to get shooed away. Why? Because these... oh, man, these scouts are now out for Hera. Lion says, these are my zebras. Zebras flank the lion, giving him a royal guard as the lion moves in. High-octane action here in the desert. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, he garrisoned the archer. Now the villager comes under attack. The lion mauling the villager cutting it with a cutlass. This is the Idris Elba villager, and she prevails, and it looks like she's, oh my God, sick villager. Looks like she was harvesting the lion for a second there. Okay, pivoting back. Is this a gap? No, it can't. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay. I thought for a second there the Viper uncharacteristically leaving a gap in his defenses. I'm surprised he's not continuing. These are just 2 skirmishers against 2 scouts, and the house only has 135 HP with 7 archers. I think he could have busted down that house. Tethering the scout to the spearman means the scout moves super slow. Look at that. Slow as molasses. As he moves north to intercept, or I guess try to intercept at this speed. The only thing he's intercepting is a very weak wind. Let's see it. Viper loses his forward scout. No more aggressive posturing for either player. Looks like we're setting up for a bit of a potential battle here in the center of the map. I mean, Hera's army is just so much bigger, right? Let's take a look at HP, and they're basically full HP, but never discount 8 skirmishers, even against 12 archers. What happened there? It looked like they derped out for a second. Looked like they were about to fire and then stopped. With 5 scouts here, almost at full HP. I mean, Hera has the better army. More archers being added in. He is going up to castle about, what, 20 seconds or so? 25 seconds ahead of his opponent. So not a huge advantage. And as always, I'm going to keep an eye on his woodpile because that is just, for me, one of the fun things. 7 seconds. They've disengaged. Take a look at the top. 707, 717. Boom, 917. Some of you will think I'm crazy. Some of you will like it. Oh no, oh my god, bad pathing there for Hera. Bad movement. This is an unfortunate sour loss here for our Dravidian. And even if he loses a bunch of skirmishers, well freaking worth it. Especially now that he invested in the crossbow upgrade. Oh my god, Hera's archer crossbow count basically being reset here. Take a look at their HP. It's absolutely oh my god, I was gonna say terrible. No, it's absolutely terrible. And now Viper is going to lose a scout. Did manage to lose all of his skirmishers, but at this point, does he care? Mission accomplished. You've knocked down your opponent to what you think is 4 crossbows with 50% of their HP. He does not know that there's 9 on the way in total. Third town center for our Teuton, who yet again comes under attack in the same location here. Villagers will get caught out, but the knights are here. Remember, the Teutons don't get husbandry, which means that their knights are basically stuck at 1.35 movement speed. That being said, when you've cornered your opponent and he's not running away, movement speed means nothing. And what's more relevant is attack. 7 against a 10. A second and a third town center already up for our Dravidian. Tell me you get extra wood. Without telling me you get extra wood, says Hera, and plops down 2 town centers ahead of our Teuton. who is still building this with just 2 villagers. Okay, he is taking the backwards gold, and I like this. I didn't comment on it before, but I'm going to comment on it now. I absolutely love the location of this town center. Finally does manage to secure the front-facing gold without any kind of headaches, knowing that he's putting on the pressure with knights. And by the way, take a look at their melee. Even though he's only researched chain barding armor, which gives him a +2 melee, the knight comes with +3 because he is the Teuton. We'll see how much it helps against the chonky boy who's out, Hera. Oh, I got excited, but he's only built 1 elephant. Only trained 1 elephant, rather. Now let's see what is happening. Crossbow's shooing away. This is only 3 knights with extra melee. Remember, the Teutons do not get extra pierce armor, just melee. They are a hand-to-hand brawler civilization. Extra melee armor for barracks units, extra melee armor for stable units, extra melee potentially for their siege units. That ironclad upgrade being pretty damn crazy, in my opinion. And now a mangonel coming out from a very forward-facing siege workshop. Does Hera have any wind of this? No, he does not. He doesn't know this thing exists. And so the element of surprise here will work to our Teuton's favor, he asks. Let's find out. Okay, Hera sees it now. Man, Hera's scouting. Unless he's off his game, which, you know, oh, what a beautiful attack round out of the Viper. And another one gets 2 villagers. You know, every player here and there, they have a bad day. They have a bad, they have a bad week. They have a bad month. They have a bad year. But unless he's off his game, Hera, again, in my opinion, the best early game scouter. And by the way, he does what I always point out, which I love pointing out because it's so freaking cool. He babysits his units. Had he left, a lot of players would have just left these units, and had he done that, the next fight, they would have lasted about 2 seconds. I was going to make a sexual joke, but we are above that here at Cast of Empires. I'm, of course, just kidding. I just didn't think of it in time. But healing these scouts, these light cab, and healing his other units with these monks. I mean, I think these monks from right now are here to shoo away the knights, but secondary function is to heal his army. Babysitting your units is absolutely crazy to me. Why high elo players don't do that. Like, take a look at the Viper's units. He's got a knight here with 3 HP. If this guy runs into a cactus, if his horse stumbles on this gold patch, that knight will die. Hera, on the other hand, his knights would be healing up right now if he had the opportunity. It doesn't look like the Viper's going to give him the opportunity. And by the way, I just looked up thinking, when are we going to see a castle? The Viper, 10 villagers on stone. Hera, not to be outdone, 17 villagers on stone. But he is housed. He is housed at 110. The Viper housed at the exact same moment at 90. Hera here with 20 more supply. Getting forging, getting ballistics, improving his melee units, improving his ranged units. This elephant just circling, doesn't know what the hell to do here. Going after the mangonel? Come on. Okay, does get it. It had like 3 HP or something. This is why you guys watch this channel, for this specificity of the caster saying it had 3 HP or something. And now the Viper has to be careful. Knights, you guys know my opinion. Knights versus town centers at this stage of the game. Let's call it early to mid castle. Although we're kind of entering late castle. Nah, based on the upgrades, I'm going to call this mid castle. They're not that great against a fully garrisoned town center. It's not going to get you in one shot. By the way, if you're not familiar with the Viper's farm trick, I shouldn't say the Viper's farm trick, but the farm trick that the Viper is doing right now, when you target a farm with a mangonel, you can target the edge of the farm. So the tiles start counting from here. If you have 8 range, it's 8 tiles from this range, this edge. But the actual shot of the mangonel will go into the center. It's a little bit of a Age of Empires trickaroo. 17, 18 on stone means that Hera, our Dravidian, getting his first castle up in a very defensive, interesting position here. I wonder why he chose this position. Not really defending resources, but there's 1, 2, 3 avenues of attack that are being defended, but there's so many small forests here. What? Where are you going? Are we going to see a Dowd castle from the Viper? And again, look at his knights. They're down 150 HP. Yes, we are seeing a Dowd castle. Let's see Hera's vision here. Will he see? The Viper's just so freaking good with these attack rounds. Although Hera in that game we saw him play with the Sicilians, my goodness, was he good with the attack rounds. Okay, 2 ships pass in the night. Hera heading over to scout to see what the heck is his opponent building. But sees this clear as day. He is heading up to Imperial the Viper. Also, once he gets 64 more food, will probably also hit Imperial. Okay, there it is. But Hera here with basically a 2-minute advantage. That is pretty damn big. Let's see what he decides to do with that advantage. Decides to plop down a counter castle. Doubt Castle versus Doubt Castle in a game that doesn't have doubt in it at all. And speaking of doubt, no doubt in the face of these players dropping castle in each other's faces, and the Viper says, you know what, my primary gold might be nice and exposed. You might get me off of that, but I'm gonna mine your gold. Okay. Right as I say that, the villagers do move forward. Does have enough stone for another castle. Another castle! The Viper here being unrelenting, aggressive. I wonder if Hera regrets building this castle here in the middle of nowhere. Although, once he hits Imperial block printing, so his, how many? 5 monks are going to have 12 range in a second. Bracer also for his crossbows. I was going to say, we're going to probably see Trebs. Of course. First player to hit Imperial always builds the first Trebs. The Knights are getting. No, did not get. Just got 1 or 2 or maybe 1. It looks like Mangonel. Okay, but the crossbows finished the job that the Knights started. Viper's going to lose a good amount of villagers here, but this castle should go up, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. 94, 95, 96, 97. No, it's going up. Oh, just barely denying it. Barely failing to deny it. Now Hera's castle is up, but there's nothing here for it to attack. A barracks and archery range, a stable, and a town center here. Whereas these castles... Actually, barracks, 2 archery ranges, town center. I was going to say granary, but that's not a structure that exists in this game. The only difference is it is our Teuton here who is raiding his opponent. And, okay, Hera making himself at home. I wonder why the Dravidians building another town center over here in the middle of mining gold here. But the Viper circling, the Viper attacking, Hera attacking him. And here we go. 2 Trebs for our Dravidian, 1 just now being inbuilt. I'm clicking on it furiously to see which castle he is building it from. The very, very forward castle. Will he engage in a Treb war? Or will he start shelling away at Hera's structures? He does manage to get 1 town center with the Knights, with the castle. Clears up all of this farming. But Hera, even with 20 idle villagers, still has more productive villagers than the Viper, who fights back. The Viper coils, strikes back, and starts attacking the castle because, of course, there are no murder holes. Except for the Teutons who get them for free, as I said. And now it looks like we've got a bit of a Treb war. No, 1 Treb firing at the castle. Oh, no, never mind. That ball must have just gone a bit of a different path. Viper is attacking Hera's Trebs. Hera's Trebs are attacking the Viper's castle. The Viper's got sub 100 stone. Urumis are out. Take a look. Area of effect 0.8 tiles. I believe right now, without the elite version, this is a plus 12. I wonder why it doesn't show it here like the Custelier. The charge attack. Because the Custelier does actually show it. Oh, the Viper's castle down. These Trebs being repaired, but dude does lose 1. Yes, we're seeing crenellations. Take a look. You see at the bottom, 8+2 range on this castle. Watch it jump up to 8+5. 13 range on a castle. Oh no, the Viper not paying attention. Loses a Treb that he cannot afford to lose. At the same time, Hera raiding to the south. Hera building an outpost here. Will he see these villagers? Yes, he does. He sees them sneaking around this way. We'll see what he decides to do with it as they pass this eroded pyramid. Another castle. Hera's castle placement is very interesting this game. Cavaliers out for our Teuton, but will 5 be enough to get these crossbows? I don't think so. Now fully upgraded. These guys attack on a 9 right now. Oh no, the Viper's doing what the Viper probably shouldn't be doing, which is streaming 1 Cavalier at a time. Although, while they're busy with 1 Cavalier, 3 more show up. So now the Viper will be able to clean this up. The minimap is aflame. We've got a castle and a treb versus a castle and a treb. A castle and a treb versus a bombard and trebs. So, lots and lots of trebs. Man-at-arms. The Viper with very little gold transitioning to the militia line units, because why the hell not? Here we go. Cavaliers are going to be able to snipe this treb. I really do wonder why the Urumi charge attack doesn't show. Because the Custilier does. Custilier. 2 camels. Enough to scare away these villagers. Where are they going? Are they playing ring around the rosy here? Oh, were they trying to go this way? Nope, that's blocked. The Viper doing a good job, by the way, of getting trebs. The problem for him is this is treb number 4 of his opponent, who now still has 3. Double whammy on the castle kill there. And wow. Wow, the Viper. The Viper with 7 army supply sees that he's down 2,000, about 30% in score, with a bunch of villagers just tucked away. Not too sure why. I wonder what he wanted to build or do with those. I mean, now that I look at it, not a bad castle placement in terms of defending against these cavaliers. If they attack the north castle, the south castle fires on them. If they attack the south castle, the north castle fires on them, and vice versa. Whatever I just said, that it should make sense to somebody. The Viper is fighting back. Hera does have 3 trebs. None of them are here, though. What's in here? 3 villagers. Another castle being built. And take a look at the Viper. I mean, he's been knocked down. Once he loses this castle, which, by the way, he sees he sees this force massing to the east of his castle. Hera's map vision, take a look at this. There's nowhere the Viper can go except perhaps south that Hera doesn't see it. He even saw those villagers sneaking around. And I really do wonder why the Viper sent these villagers, but wow. These 2 players, when they meet, you know, it doesn't happen very often outside tournaments. And you guys know I don't really cast tournament games. I'm more of a ranked ladder kind of guy. So when they meet outside of tournaments on ranked ladder, it's sometimes incredibly fun and a lot of times just amazingly fun. It's just so much fun to watch them play. The game play level is just so high. I mean, both of them at over 100 villagers. Our Dravidian maybe going a little bit overboard, but perhaps he expected more rating from the Viper. But again, without husbandry, the Viper's rating units, the Cavalier is super slow, 1.35, basically just a little bit better than an Eagle Warrior. And his other rating unit, the Light Cavalry, he's stuck at Scout Cavs. And so with 555 gold, sub 400 food, what can he really build here? This castle is going to fall. He's got 454 stones. Was he mining stone before the end of the game? Yes. 6 villagers on stone. But another castle for our Dravidian. How many is that for him? This is going to be his 4th. Our Teuton knocked down to 1. I mean, keep in mind, though, take a look at the radius of this. Take a look at this green circle around on the minimap, on the main screen. How crazy is that Crenellations upgrade with the 13 freaking range on the castle? That is just absolutely bonkers. And so even without Bracer, oh, sorry, I'm pointing the wrong, even without Bracer, even capping out at Bodkin, that 13 range is just absolutely bonkers. But our Dravidian, withstanding some Teutonic pressure, just absolutely building, I think, the great army composition that he needed. Ignore the Urumi swordsmen, ignore the pikemen, 20 crossbows, and then the rest long range siege. Where's his bombard cannon, by the way? Okay, nowhere close to the fighting. So this guy got 1 kill and then rested on his laurels for the rest of the game. And though the Viper, I think, probably could get this castle, I mean, Hera's stone count is 59. He's not going to repair. These villagers look like they were evicted, right? No, not really. It's still above 20% HP. When a structure hits 20%, it evicts all of its tenants, like an unruly, like a jerk landlord who says, "Oh, I need to kick you out. I'm doing structural repairs. We're at 20%." But these guys have left early, which suggests to me they're just running to this castle, which means he's abandoned this castle. So the Viper could have gotten this castle, but he would have lost this. And once he lost that, he's got 7 army supply. Let's take a look at his infrastructure. Was he able to rebuild? Let's go right to the end of the game. What does he have? He's got 4 stables only, a barracks, and 1 archery range. I don't think he even has... No, he still has a siege workshop. Hera leaving that alone. Saying, okay, I'm going to just ignore the infrastructure you have and just press right into you. And the Viper threw away way too many cavaliers, I think, here. This engage, I think, was the... I mean, there's nothing he could have really done. You can't really pivot at this stage of the game to even skirmishers. You've got 1 archery range. You're down 2 defensive upgrades, although Hera down all 3. But he doesn't care. He's the one putting on the aggression, even getting squires at the moment. Let's take a look at the stats. 51 cavaliers to 74 archers and crossbows. The Viper, early game, peak APM Hera with his usual above 200. Also around the middle of the game, economically, no big difference at all. Relic not playing a role at all. More wood for our Dravidian, more food for our Teuton, more gold for our Dravidian, more stone for our Teuton, although not enough of a difference here to make 1 more castle even. Let's take a look at... So we saw crenellations. And really, I want to see... Every time there's Dravidians, I want to see elephant archers. I want to see elephant archers, and I want to see wood steel. It's an expensive upgrade. That's the upgrade that makes your infantry and cavalry basically turning into Lithuanian Lechai and ignoring enemy armor. But you rarely see it. It's an Imperial Age upgrade. It costs 1,300 or so resources in total. I think 1,300 and 1,400. And you rarely see it. Man, take a look at the military count. The Viper, the entire game, just didn't have the numbers. And so even though, again, he had the tankier unit, I mean, 1-on-1 Cavalier just absolutely wrecks. Even 1, 2, 3 crossbows, maybe with the high ground, but just not enough. And with an army supply of 7 to 32, kill count, he does have more kills. Villager count, fairly similar kills and villager kills for both players. But ultimately, it's our Dravidian who repels the attack. And by the way, what an attack. Castle here, knocked down the town center, was jeopardizing the center of Hera's base. But I don't know if the Viper knew that Hera had already expanded westward here and here. I mean, he knew once he put this outpost up for sure. But before that, I don't think he knew. He kicked up, rather he went straight up the guts. But Hera had already gone to the extremities over here, over here, over here. Hera just sprawling out. So that attack to the center wasn't really the death blow that the Viper was really hoping for. The Viper trying to get a static defensive win with those castles jutting into Hera's guts. Whereas Hera just said, you know what? Okay, I'll defend you as best I can. I'll defend against your knights here. And you can see how well the Viper raided, because look at this. These are still empty, barren fields that are not being tilled. Look at all of this. This is all the Viper's doing. And Hera, instead of doing structural offensive, even though he did build 1 really offensive castle, just kept building army. More army, pikemen, urumi, knights, monks, crossbows. How many converts, by the way, with the monks? Can't be that many. 6. Yeah, that's okay. On a 43-minute game, yeah, it's not terrible. But overall, what a fun game. Seeing our Teuton go heavy on the knights and the cavaliers, seeing our Dravidian going with the crossbows, and more importantly, the monks. Like I said, Hera just babysitting his units. We saw him healing up scouts, healing up light cavalry. How many high elo players do you see do that? Answer, very few. And I think that's one thing that separates Hera from the rest. And that's why he was able to take better engages over and over. Resource-wise, the players really aren't that dissimilar. I mean, the Viper's got more gold, more food, a little bit less wood, and a lot more stone, but not enough stone to have another castle. Where's his gold? Let's see if he just ran out of gold. Because a lot of times, no, he still had gold here. And with his castle about to fall, this gold is pretty safe. So I don't think gold was really the reason why he GG'd. Oh, he hasn't discovered this gold yet. I think he GG'd because of this. He saw this with his crazy castle vision. Take a look at the vision on this castle. and just realized there's nothing I can do against 3 Trebs. I can build 2 Trebs right now, maybe 3 of these gold miners keep working, but 3 Trebs out of 1 castle being attacked by 3 Trebs. By the time he defends this and repairs it, I don't think he's going to get out 3 Trebs, especially, and 9 villagers is okay. Nah, maybe he could get 3 Trebs before this castle goes down. It is on the high ground. Actually, maybe some of these Trebs are on the high ground. In any event, I'm going to stop hypothesizing. This, still no clue what the hell was going on here. But I love that the Viper was just expanding into various corners of the map. Ultimately, though, militarily, Hera just applying way too much pressure. Hera showing up at the doorstep with an army that the Viper absolutely could not counter, especially not with only 6 Cavaliers, 3 of which are here and about to die. These 2 on their last legs, and this guy about to be killed by this castle. So half his army supply, and then a 4th one down here. Half his army supply is basically doing nothing, and the Viper says, ugh, there's nothing I can do about this. Lives to fight another day. Hera takes the big W in a super fun, fast-paced game, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.